Welcome to the June 2025 issue of Japan's Top 10 Headlines. I know you've all been waiting all month for this. So anyway, we'll jump into it. Uh, this first item is interesting because we've been doing a lot of work in the last couple years with best investors from international trying to get into Japan, and some with success, others still trying. There's a boom going on, and internationals trying to invest in best. Um, there's a lot of best projects on the table, if you will. A study came out literally last week that despite this boom, it's not nearly enough. They need a lot more. So you can see the figures here, um, how that work plays out, because the Japanese developers can't really finance it. So it's going to have to be international or large players in Japan stepping up. So this is interesting. Mitsubishi, who won the first three with a lowball offer, have basically said, "Nah, we're not building it." Telling Medi, due to inflation and devaluation of the yen, they can't do that anymore. Personally, I think it's they way underbid to win in the first place, and now they can't do it and without losing a lot of money. So this third item is kind of ridiculous. Uh, Four executives at TEPCO were sued for Fukushima as if they could predict when there was a tsunami. Um, the initial ruling was they won, the suers won, and the four executives had to pay 13 trillion yen, which is like immediate bankruptcy. So they were never going to get it anyway. So finally, a wiser court said, "Now there's no way these executives could have predicted a tsunami, so now they don't have to pay anything." So this is interesting. This has been under discussion, but now it's getting serious. Building an undersea line between Korea and Japan, primarily for backup power, so that if one has a disaster, they can supply some of it from the other country. Good idea. I don't know how much it costs. We'll see. So every country has a data center boom, if you will. Everybody's worried about where's the power going to come from. That's obviously a big issue. Correlated is where's the transmission coming from. So there's a proposal in Japan now for 9 gigawatts of transmission build out for data centers specifically. What it doesn't say is who pays. JPX carbon markets off to a bit of a slow start. Not surprising. There's nobody required to play. Not exactly voluntary, but it's GX League backed. So the Diet finally approved that the 400 biggest industrials in Japan have to start participating by 2027. Our estimates, there's about 700 GX members. So at a minimum, there'll be I think 700 players and probably a lot more than that with the energy traders and the 700 is just industrials. So what's interesting is there's EEX and I guess TOCOM too had a nice event a few weeks back on their fifth anniversary. What was interesting is a majority of the volume is traded by the international traders that also have a physical Japan spot market. Maybe not a big operation, but they're trading physical Japan and financial Japan. So that's where most of EX's volume comes from. Given that we in our own case have a queue of four or more trading companies coming in this year and probably another four next year, that means the volume is only going to go up. So originally, the LNG prices drove approximately 25% of the retailers out of the business. In doing so, they gave their customers back to the utilities, and Japan says they just exited. Bankruptcy is not a word very commonly used. Now the market share is picking up, and more retailers are starting to adopt what we call Retail 3.0. We had a webinar last week. Over 100 companies showed up, wanted to figure out how to start offering, I call them hedge-based products. So expect the shift to continue to increase over the next few years. Because electricity liberalized, the electric utilities insisted the gas liberalized. So they did. However, it doesn't work. So nobody's really playing. So they're going to go back and try again. So the Weather Bureau in Japan says hot, wet, hotter than normal, wetter than normal summer. Um, However, Octo says, yeah, we're covered. In any event, thanks for watching.